Hello everyone and welcome to your very own YouTube channel Crypto Beats. Today we're going to share some great news about XRP. You must keep on watching the video until the end to find out what the new IMF document reveals. New digital forms of money have the potential to make payments cheaper and faster, increase financial inclusion, improve payment provider resilience and competition, and make cross-border transfers easier. However, this is not an easy task. It will necessitate substantial investment as well as complex policy decisions such as defining the public and private sectors' roles in delivering and regulating digital forms of money. Some countries may be enticed to use crypto assets as national currencies as a shortcut. Many are safe, simple to use, and inexpensive to transact with. However, we believe that in the vast majority of cases, the dangers and costs outweigh the possible benefits. Crypto assets are privately issued tokens denominated in their own unit of account and based on encryption technology. The value of these items can be quite variable. Bitcoin, for example, peaked at $65,000 in April before plummeting to less than half that amount 2 months later. Legal tender status necessitates that a payment method be widely available. However, in many countries, internet access and the technology required to transfer crypto assets are still in short supply, raising concerns about justice and financial inclusion. Furthermore, the official monetary unit's value must be stable enough to allow it to be used for medium to long-term monetary obligations. To avoid establishing a disconnected legal system, changes to a country's legal tender status and a monetary unit often necessitate significant and extensive modifications to monetary law. You must be aware of the Ripple Labs working already regarding this issue. Ripple holding meetings with the IMF has been witnessed recently. Also, the IMF is trying to make the swap lines more efficient. The following was said by officials in a conference on international liquidity. You could imagine the IMF could centralize reserve sharing agreements by administering a global reserve facility at the IMF, perhaps by building on the existing drawing rights. The IMF could also try to multilateralize the decentralized parts and a largely discretionary network of bilateral swap lines, either by acting as a central counterparty clearinghouse for these bilateral swap lines and absorbing some of the counterparty risk, or by offering itself its own short-term swap facility. It was also said that, since we're talking about dollars, the IMF could act as an intermediary between the Federal Reserve and other central banks, and the reason I say that is because many countries such as India or Brazil would benefit from swap lines but are unable to do so because the Federal Reserve is concerned about sovereign risk, so the IMF could step in and take the sovereign risk. Ricardo Reis says, a difficulty with the swap lines as they are emerging is that they are bilateral and they are discretionary. Not only they exist as a spaghetti bowl, but also a spaghetti that could break easily, especially during a crisis. Thus, there would be no need for these complex bilateral agreements with swap lines if XRP were used as a settlement instrument between central banks. The IMF and Ripple have been photographed together on numerous occasions, including at conferences and festivals, as well as at Swell, most notably in Singapore, when Brad Garlinghouse and Ross Lakehoe, the former Deputy General Counsel of the International Monetary Fund, were alone on stage. XRP was labeled a supranational currency in an official document discussing digital fiat currencies, DFC. This is displayed in the document on the second page, where XRP is described as such. What it also displays is Bitcoin being labeled as a cryptocurrency. Specific labels are of importance, especially in official documents. A radical solution is to create a new international organization, an international central bank, to which would be handed over the foreign exchange reserves of all countries. This is the Keynes-Triffin plan on international liquidity. The major obstacle to this implementation would be the reluctance of countries to give up their sovereignty over reserves. But it can be considered as a proposal to set the ball rolling for future negotiations. Ripple's Sagar Sarabhai claimed during the 2018 Bangkok FinTech Fair that the company works closely with 40 to 50 central banks. At the time, this was a bold assertion because just a few central banks were known to be working with Ripple. The IMF has recognized the promise of Ripple's technology and is actively attempting to persuade central banks and other financial institutions to adopt it. The IMF recognizes that by using Ripple's technology, the role they envision for the IMF might become a reality. The IMF's principal responsibility is to maintain stable currency exchange rates. For settlement, they might link the SDR to XRP. Is it possible that XRP will be the banker? I also think it's appropriate that the IMF sees central banks as becoming far more important to the financial system in the future. This is more likely why Ripple holds so many meetings with central banks. Over 24 central banks from around the world recently met Ripple to discuss how new technologies are enabling the next generation of payments. The Central Bank Summit on Blockchain, held in Carnegie Hall of New York City, brought together senior executives from central banks, payment strategy leaders, and supervision personnel for an in-depth discussion on blockchain. Ripple CEO Brad Garlinghouse hosted the event and said, "The summit provided an opportunity to explore the full payments landscape, central banks' domestic trials, Ripple's growing cross-border network, and interoperability across systems. Together, these form the beginning of an Internet of Value where payments move as easily as the data across the Internet." The summit began with a presentation by the IMF on fintech's ability to alter market structure and expand payment options. The summit looked into central banks' experiences with blockchain for domestic payments in this context. These domestic trials looked at how to reconstruct old systems, create new backup systems, and add new features like a central bank digital money. The study has improved our understanding of blockchain, including where it makes sense and where it doesn't. It's possible that blockchain usage for domestic payments may be limited. The best solution is determined by the pain points and characteristics required in each market, which can differ significantly from nation to country. Interoperability between systems, both centralized and distributed, become a primary focus area as a result of this revelation and the reason for Ripple's own work on Interledger. Cross-border payments are one area where the pain points are universal. Cross-border payments, which are inherently fragmented, are an ideal use for blockchain technology. Furthermore, the technology has seen significant market adoption. Ripple explained how it has developed a blockchain for interbank payments that allows for real-time cross-border capabilities as well as transparency regarding status and fees. Ripple presented a comprehensive presentation on how we leverage blockchain-based technologies to allow payment connectivity. The following are linked via Ripple Solutions: banks with a network of over 100 financial institutions that is growing, payment systems which are being connected through a pilot with the Bank of England, connects mobile money providers through Mojaloop, a platform built in collaboration with the Gates Foundation. Thus, Garlinghouse concluded, these blockchain conversations have been happening in isolation. The value of the Central Bank Summit was in exploring and connecting these efforts, as together they create the next generation of payments. All the efforts of making real-world partnerships, XRP, is considered to gain value, but if the SEC litigation is successfully handled, it may persuade additional financial institutions to use Ripple's system, resulting in huge hikes in price of XRP. With that in mind, our XRP price prediction for 2025 predicts the coin will be worth roughly $3.5. According to CoinMarketCap research, the live XRP price today is $1.32 with a 24-hour trading volume of $4,543,687,328 $. XRP is up 5.72% in the last 24 hours. The current CoinMarketCap ranking is number 6, with a live market cap of $61,631,471,211 It has a circulating supply of 46,542,338,341 XRP coins and a max supply of 100 billion XRP coins. XRP today is the 6th largest cryptocurrency in the crypto market. These new Ripple upgrades and partnerships with the central banks and IMF will provide an opportunity for the coin to gain more price. Thus, it's not hard to believe that XRP is going to make millionaires soon. It's getting the place of one of the best long-term investment currencies. I hope you enjoyed this video. Please subscribe to our channel for more videos like this.